Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So the topic that I chose is inequality in access of healthcare in Malaysia. Socio-economic inequalities in health represent unfairness in the health distribution of a population. Since it is known that the socio-economically less advantaged have lower possibilities of attaining their full health potential, and as a consequence are not only at higher risk of dying but also of dying younger than those who are better off. Reducing such inequities in health is one of the aims of the recently launched Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). In particular, the SDGs urge countries to work toward universal health coverage (UHC) as the main health sector vehicle to promote more equitable distribution of health. Malaysia aspires to be a developed nation by the year 2020, and if this development ambition are to be attained, Malaysia needs to re-examine its past approaches to reduce poverty and inequalities in the country. In line with the Sustainable Goal theme, no one will be left behind, efforts have been planned or executed to ensure Malaysians get access to wealth and development of the nation. However, a substantial proportion of the population is still struggling to achieve socio-economic and health equalities, especially the low-income groups. Current scenario indicates that Malaysia is no longer just combat with absolute poverty, but also with relative poverty. Pockets of persistent poverty, the traditional rural poverty and urban poverty, as well as increasing inequalities. During the 10th Malaysia Plan, 10MP 2011 to 2015, the bottom 40, B40, consists of 2.4 million households, with 73% Bumiputras locals and the remaining 27% Bumiputras non-locals. The risk of dying is comparatively higher among those in the poorest quintile compared to those in the richest quintile, where mortality risks are 12% higher and 16% lower than the overall population in Peninsular Malaysia in the poorest and richest quintile, respectively. Deaths are disproportionately concentrated in socio-economically deprived areas. The highest extent of inequality was observed for potential year of life loss, and this was mainly due to high concentration of child death among the poor. Premature mortality is disproportionately concentrated among the poorer districts for every ethnic group. In Malaysia, the possible reasons for inequity in healthcare utilization between the rich and the poor are rooted in the division of services into the public and private sectors. Private providers are most commonly located in urban areas based on the demand of the affluent local community, thereby increasing the healthcare utilization of private providers. The domination of the rich in the utilization of inpatient care in the private sector may also be attributed to the sector requiring out-of-pocket payment and the availability of insurance reimbursement to the rich. Meanwhile, the poor utilization of public providers may be due to the affordability of the services, which are largely funded by the government. A local study has reported that the richer population with higher socio-economic status has a higher utilization of private sector providers, whereas lower SES, which is socio-economic status population, utilize public healthcare more. Thus, the pattern of public and private utilization are influenced by SES.